Friends, welcome to another inspiration video. Today I wanted to chat with you guys a little bit about rejection. Um, so I have some craft books like that helped me through my early years of being a writer. And it's interesting because I thought the other day, I'm like, there's a lot of stuff in some of these books that I forget or I have forgotten. And I've just kind of been skimming through them, not like rereading them fully, but skimming through them and remembering why I love them in the first place. And so there was this book called How to Be a Famous Writer. And, oh, How to Become a Famous Writer Before You're Dead is the full name of the book. But I really, also, if I'm a little bit, sometimes my voice may give a little bit just because I'm still a little congested because I had a cold, but I'm fine, but just if it happens. But anyhow, in this book, there was an interview with Ursula Le Guin, and I feel like even my level of appreciation for her has changed because obviously at that time, I was a really young writer. I didn't know much, and I didn't know a lot about other writers in general. And so it was, I think like years later, I would find out like just how magnificent Ursula Le Guin was. But anyhow, there was an interview with her, and she shared so many golden tips in this interview. And I thought I would you'll see it in later videos, but I'm going to actually pull several things she said from this interview and include it in my quote. And so for those of you who aren't familiar with inspiration videos, that's what they're all about. They're just short, quick videos that I come on here and just read a quote, and then I maybe say a few things about it, my thoughts. And it's supposed to basically inspire you to either get writing, or maybe if you've been stuck, to like get back to it or just keep going. And so Ursula Le Guin has on her website this rejection letter from her editor, and on the rejection letter she talks about how she felt a certain way about the note, and her editor actually didn't show it to her until years later. So I'm just going to read a little bit of it. So here's what she said. The letter on my website actually came to her, not to me, her being her editor. And being a very smart agent, she didn't show it to me for years, till we could laugh at it. But if I had received it myself, it wouldn't have stopped me from sending my book to another publisher. I had taken quite a lot of rejections by then, nothing but for about 7 years. Experience in rejection doesn't stop it from hurting, but it helps you just dig in and go on trying. And I just absolutely loved that quote because I think rejection in general gets us down. But the reality is that the more, honestly, the more rejection you get, the more it builds you up, right? For your future writing career. And I think it still stings a little bit, obviously, every time. Nobody wants to get a rejection. But I think I've gotten to the point, because I've been rejected so much, that you get a little bit numb. And right now I feel like I'm at the point where it just kind of rolls right off. I might be sad for a little bit, for like 5 seconds, and then that's it. It's like, okay, now what's next? And it's actually because I've decided to stick to this writing thing, right, for the long haul. I am in it for life. Like, I am not going anywhere. And so I know too that rejection is really just redirection. So I just thought that was awesome. And that's also what I want you to think about if you are getting rejections or if you're experiencing rejection. Think about the long haul. This is just another step. It's part of the process. And there's a saying that goes, you're going to get a whole bunch of no's, right? And eventually, at some point, you're going to have to get a yes, right? And that's something I really believe. And if you keep doing the work, making it a commitment, right? You're committed to writing, and you keep doing the work, keep showing up, and you believe that you can achieve your writing goal, then you will. And the rejection is really just, again, redirection. It wasn't the right thing for you. It wasn't the right fit. And that is probably because something greater is on the horizon. So just remember that. Also, I encourage you to practice submitting and potentially getting rejected. Again, not everything you submit is going to get rejected, right? At some point you're going to get a yes, but the only way you can get to the yes is to keep trying and to keep doing it. So I want you to think about that, and I want you to get your work out there. Keep submitting no matter what. I used to run like this thing on my blog, my personal blog, a while ago, where I would encourage writers to submit. It used to be the opportunities lists. But then I would always write a little blog post encouraging writers to keep submitting and making sure that they're submitting every single week. Almost like have a submitting schedule. I encourage you to do the same. And that is because it's practice. It's good practice. I would submit short stories. I haven't been on my game as much lately, and it's because of the studio. Studio has sucked up a lot of time, so I admit I have not been on my submitting game as I should be. But my job is to still tell you all, like, do as I say, not as I do. My job is to still tell you all and encourage you to do what I know works. And when you get your work out there and you submit, even if it's short stories, poems, some nonfiction pieces, shorter pieces, it's giving you practice and it's preparing you. So, and I promise you, the rejections on the novels, they really don't sting as much because you've now been through it. You've been through it. You know what rejection feels like. All right, that was actually a little bit of a longer inspiration video, but I was really feeling like I needed to talk about rejection just because I've heard it's something I've been hearing a lot of writers talking about lately and getting down about, and I wanted to remind you that it's just part of the process. Plus, this interview I came across from Ursula Le Guin was just pretty much perfect. It was like hand in hand with what I wanted to talk about. So that's it for now, and be on the lookout for the next inspiration video. And thank you all so much, as always, for being patrons. I really, really, really appreciate you. All right, see you on the next one. Bye.